I went undercover as a parent to scope out the local music lesson studio. Here's where I think they went wrong. Hey, I'm Phoenix and I'm the tattooed piano teacher. Okay, so I didn't actually go undercover as a parent, I am a parent. My daughter wanted to take guitar lessons, and this is my personal experience as a music parent signing up for lessons at a studio. And as studio owners, I feel like there's a lot here that we can learn from. Stick around to the end to see if we ended up signing up for lessons. My first impression of this studio was visiting their website. They had lots of pictures of the camps that they throw for their students, lots of happy students taking lessons. They had great teacher bios, and their price was super clear on the website. There was no varying prices. There was one option, 30-minute weekly lessons. So I knew exactly what I was getting into before ever reaching out to the studio. Now, the one con I will say about their website is that they had a pretty generic contact us, and it was just one of those things where you're filling out your name and a general description, sending it off into the ethers, and wondering if you're ever going to get a response. Next, let's move on to the initial contact with the owner of the studio. I did wait 3 days to hear back. Like I said, because of the generic nature of the contact us form, I was wondering if my inquiry even got through, but after 3 days, I did hear back. To be honest, I was a little disappointed with the response I got, simply because I put a lot of thought into my little heartfelt inquiry about my daughter, and I included snippets about who she is and what she's interested in and her musical experience. And the response I got back was pretty generic. It felt like a copy and pasted response. In fact, the very first sentence of the email talked about check out our policies. What I wished at this point was that the owner would have just incorporated a tiny bit of personality into the first initial contact. While he did acknowledge that we were looking for guitar lessons, beyond that, there wasn't anything to indicate that he had even read my inquiry. And if he would have added a little personalization to it, like, oh, that's really cool that she's been playing piano for this many years, that will really help her with guitar lesson. Oh, I have the perfect teacher for you, or something to that effect, that really would have made more of a connection and would have encouraged me that I had found the right place. The email also offered a free lesson, as kind of like we offer everybody a free lesson. So again, I didn't feel like I was getting a personal response. It was just like, come here, it's free. The owner offered a couple of different openings that his guitar teachers had, and I responded with the one that would work best for us. I will say that I asked a question and I got a very personalized response after that, which revived my faith in this studio. I asked about guitars, rentals or purchases that he would recommend, or if we even needed a guitar for the first lesson. He was very helpful and specific with this. He sent me links to a couple of guitars that would be good for beginners, gave me suggestions about acoustic versus electric, offered to let us borrow his guitar for our first lesson, and also gave me a couple of stores in town to check out. So that response was super personalized, and I felt very taken care of and heard. I just wish that he had sort of referenced and personalized the first email. Otherwise, if I was scoping out a lot of studios, I might never have responded to the first email. But moving on to our first visit. So we had our free trial lesson. I wasn't sure what to expect. I've walked by this place many times, but had no idea what the inside looked like. My first impression of the building was that it seemed like it had not been updated since maybe the 70s or 80s. In fact, it reminded me of my piano lesson experience at the local music store in the mid to late 80s, which was in a basement and had a certain smell to it. However, this, when you open up the front door, you're immediately met with these stairs, these steep stairs that go up. And then there's like this sprawling sort of multiple hallways with all these studios. It was kind of a big place. There wasn't like coordinated furniture furniture or decor. So I didn't get like those premium vibes, but also the lessons were pretty inexpensive as well. So I got more of a we're getting a deal sort of a vibe. When we first made our way up the stairs, we weren't sure where to go. There was no like front desk or anyone greeting us, so we weren't quite sure what to do. It was about the time for her lesson to start, so we were feeling a little bit of anxiety, like what do we do? We picked some seats and sat down, and eventually the owner did notice us and come talk to us, reassured us that the teacher was running a couple minutes behind, told us where to sit, and said he'll be coming up this way. Then we felt reassured, just wished that there would have been someone right away or some sort of a sign or something like that so we knew where to find the correct office to check in with. Once we met the teacher, he was super friendly. He spoke to both me and my daughter in a very personable way, and she had a great first lesson. She learned a song that she loves, learned 4 chords on the guitar, having never played it before. So I think that the teacher did a great job with that first free trial lesson and sent us off with the assignment to practice that one song that she had learned in the lesson. The owner had let us know that he would be calling us the following Monday. Her trial lesson was on a Friday. And so after the lesson was done, we sort of left and that was it. I was a little surprised that the owner didn't check in after the lesson. Maybe he could have signed us up for lessons right then and there, make the sale. But again, he kind of had his way of doing it, kind of left us alone, let us go home and think about it. And then on the next Monday, he did call me to see how the lesson went. So the question is, will we be taking guitar lessons at this local music studio? Hit the like button if you find this information interesting and you're a studio owner and you want more tips on how to be the best studio that you can be. Okay, so did we sign up for lessons? Yes, we did. I would say that the teacher's friendliness, competence, personality, and the experience in the lesson was what did it for us. We were ready to sign up. So what can we learn from this experience with the local music studio that could help us make a better first impression with our studio? First of all, make sure that your website is super simple, informative, give some sort of a price so people have an idea of what they're getting into, lots of pictures, and a really clear inquire about lessons, sign up for lessons, something like that. In the contact form, make it a little more than just the generic contact us that most website templates have, so that people actually feel like they get a chance to tell you about themselves, why they want lessons, what sort of lessons they want, that sort of thing. First contact. Make sure that you are responding to any website inquiries, phone calls, or emails as soon as possible. Make sure that you are reading the messages that you get and personalizing your response. I am all about email templates. I am all about saving time and energy, but you need to insert something that shows the person that you read what they wrote to you, especially if they give you a little paragraph about who they are or who their child is and why they want to take lessons. Absolutely, you must customize and make them feel heard. Just let them know in some way that you read what they wrote, that you care about them, that you're excited to meet them, all of that. Very important. First impressions. When they arrive at your studio, make sure either you or someone is there to greet them, or that they know exactly where to go. So there's no anxiety, no question, no should I be here, or feeling like they're in the wrong place. They need to feel like they're in the right place the moment they arrive at your studio. And by the way, if you want more tips on making that first lesson the best it can be, check out this video here. And then also follow up right away after the first lesson. Make sure that you customize this message. If you are the teacher and you're the one reaching out, make sure you reference how great it was to meet the student, reference something personal about them and how you think that they're going to do great at this instrument. something that reassures them that the connection was made, and then get the commitment, make the sale, get the credit card, book the time. So yes, we can always continue to improve our first impressions as a music studio. Now, if you are a brand new piano teacher or you are just starting your studio, there's a link in the description for a free email challenge called Start Your Studio. It's all those behind the scene things that you need to do to set up your studio and your business so that you can create a thriving business for years to come. And if you want to keep watching, here's the video I mentioned a moment ago all about exactly how to make your students feel super welcome on that first lesson. And I will see you there.